What if I told you, right now, yes, today someone close to you is going to lie to you. Not a stranger. Not some villain in a movie. Someone you trust. And here's the part that should make you sit up straight. You probably won't even notice. Most people get lied to hundreds of times a day. Small lies. Big lies. Harmless lies. Dangerous lies. And the scary part? We miss almost all of them. But what if you didn't? What if you could walk into any conversation and instantly feel when something's off? What if you could spot a lie before the sentence even finishes? Today, I'm going to show you how, not with guesswork, not with superstition, but with psychological tricks used by investigators, interrogators, and people trained to read between the lines. And by the end of this, you'll never listen to someone the same way again. Let's start with something important. Lying isn't just something bad people do. Your best friend might lie about where they were last night. Your partner might lie to avoid an argument. Your coworker might lie to protect their reputation. Your boss might lie about why you didn't get promoted. The truth. Everyone lies. And if you can't spot it, you're living inside stories that aren't real. So let's flip the script. 1. The magic question trick. Most people are terrible at asking questions. They ask things like, did you go out last night? Did you take my charger? Did you finish the report? Those questions are easy to lie about. They're yes or no questions. A liar just says no and it's over. But here's what smart interrogators do. They assume the action already happened. Instead of asking, did you go out last night? They ask, what made you stay out so late last night? Feel that shift? Now the person isn't deciding between yes or no. They're forced to either admit it or build an entire story from scratch. And building a fake story under pressure? That's where cracks begin to show. Because lies require creativity. Truth requires memory. And memory is always stronger. 2. The 5-second rule. This one is powerful. When you ask someone a question, don't just listen to their words. Watch them. For exactly 5 seconds. Not 4. Not 10. 5. Why? Because those first 5 seconds are when the brain is scrambling. After 5 seconds, a liar can construct something believable. But in those first 5 seconds, their body leaks the truth. Look for a sudden pause that feels too long, touching the face or neck, looking away quickly, a change in tone, swallowing hard, forced laughter. One signal means nothing. 2 or more within those first 5 seconds? That's when your internal alarm should go off. Because the body reacts before the brain finishes lying. 3. The baseline trick. Now, this one separates amateurs from pros. Before you ever ask a serious question, study the person when they're relaxed. How do they normally speak? Do they talk fast? Slow? Do they use their hands a lot? Do they maintain eye contact naturally? This is their baseline, their normal mode. You cannot detect a lie unless you know what normal looks like for that specific person. If someone normally talks confidently and suddenly starts hesitating, if someone who usually looks you in the eye suddenly stares at the floor, if someone calm suddenly becomes overly expressive, that shift is your clue. You're not looking for nervous behavior. You're looking for change. Change equals stress. Stress often equals deception. 4. The double-check trap. This one is almost unfair. Ask about the same event twice, but in different ways. For example, first casually say, you went to the movies yesterday, right? Then later in the conversation ask, what movie did you see yesterday? Here's what happens. Someone telling the truth remembers what actually happened. Someone lying is trying to remember what they invented. And fake stories are fragile. They forget details. They contradict themselves. They over-explain. Truth is consistent. Lies require maintenance. And maintenance under pressure? That's hard. 5. The weak word signal. Listen carefully to language. When people lie, they soften their statements. Instead of, I was at home, they say, I think I was at home. I was probably at home. I guess I was just at home. Notice the escape words. Think, probably, guess, maybe. They create an exit door. Because if they're caught, they can say, oh, I said I think. Confident truth doesn't need cushions. Now, this doesn't mean every maybe is a lie, but when the topic is serious and the language suddenly becomes shaky, pay attention. Language reveals uncertainty, and uncertainty reveals fear. 6. The topic switch. Escape. You're getting close. You ask a follow-up question. Suddenly they say, hey, did you see that new show? Oh, I forgot to tell you something. By the way, that's not random. That's the brain hitting the panic button. When someone feels exposed, they try to redirect. They want your attention somewhere else. Don't fall for it. Gently bring them back. That's interesting, but first, tell me more about what happened earlier. Watch their comfort level drop. Because liars want distance from danger. Truth tellers don't mind staying on topic. 7. The interrupt trick lying is mentally exhausting. It requires creativity, memory, performance, and emotional control all at once. So here's what you do. Interrupt them mid-story. If they say, "So I went to the store and bought milk," jump in with, "Wait, what were you doing right before you decided to go?" Now their brain has to rewind. If it's real, they'll access memory. If it's fake, they'll struggle. Because now they're juggling. The fake timeline, your interruption, their emotional performance, and most liars can't multitask that well. Confusion increases. Details shift. Energy changes. That's your opening. 8. The fake detail trap. This one is subtle and powerful. Slip in a detail that never happened. For example, you said it was raining that day, right? Even if they never mentioned rain, someone telling the truth will immediately correct you. No, it wasn't raining. But someone lying, they might agree. Yeah, it was raining. Why? Because they're trying to survive the conversation. They don't want to risk correcting you and exposing gaps in their story. Truth corrects. Lies adapt. Now here's something important. This isn't about becoming paranoid. It's not about attacking people. It's about awareness. Because when you understand deception, you stop being controlled by it. You stop second-guessing your instincts. You start noticing patterns. And here's the most powerful tool of all, your gut. If something feels off even slightly, don't ignore it. Combine your intuition with these techniques. Watch for patterns. Watch for shifts. Watch for discomfort, because deception always leaves fingerprints. The more aware you become, the more confident you become. And when you can read people accurately, you gain power in conversations, in negotiations, in relationships, in life. You stop being fooled. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So here's my challenge to you. Start observing. Not judging. Not accusing. Just observing. Notice baselines. Notice shifts. Notice language. And you'll begin to see the invisible. Because the truth is always there. Most people just don't. Know how to look. And now,